Hello, hello, and welcome back to Batman Arkham Origins. Let's have a talk with someone.
Oh, that's... it's so... What a night! Fresh off the kill, and back for more, eh?
Bane's still alive.
Now that's not funny. All this rage, all directed at me, and for what? You know, if you'd actually let me finish a sentence, you might learn something! You might learn that we're not so different. You might learn something about yourself!
You need to learn to shut up.
Is all this for you, or for me? You must know that I'm a lost cause. Oh, but there's still hope for you. Yes. Oh, I've got great hopes for you. So come on, do stop now! What are you waiting for? You just can't get it through your thick skull. Ugh. We both exist because of them!
Give up! You've lost!
That's why you do it, isn't it? You like the way it feels. It's what you need. Come on, baby. Beat me till your knuckles bleed. Why quit there? You know there's only one way to stop me.
Any one of my guys would have killed him.
The city deserves better than that.
You know, my daughter thinks you're a hero. But I still have to bring you in.
Gordon, come in. What's your 20?
I'm in the chapel. We got the Joker.
Son of a bitch. You caught him. And how did you do that?
I had some help.
Zipped to a gargoyle above, I bet.
I keep
Something like
asking
that.
myself why I didn't bring him in. And I now know the truth is I let him go because of you. Because you believe in him. I don't know. They put me in charge of a station full of rotten cops. And I can't change them. Any more than I can change this damn city. Or at least, that's what I used to think.
Stopped his heart. That is funny. Good one, Bats. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Maybe I can give them something to believe in. Maybe he can give them something to believe in.
Is that the end of the main story? Really? Huh. Man, that felt a little fast. Of course, we're not anywhere near done. We've still got loads more stuff to find, but if I had known that that was going to be the end, I would have waited before going into the prison for sure. Because we still got a bunch of other plot lines hanging to be cleaned up. So, our night's far from over. Man, I can understand why people view this as the black sheep of the Arkham games, even ignoring the fact that it wasn't made by the main in-house development team, but a side team that Warner Brothers put together. It does feel different in its entire flow. Ooh. Something about to happen.
I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another crime before my time made your heart sad and blue. And so now you make me pay for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said that make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? You'll never know how much it hurts to never see you smile. You know you need and want to laugh, yet you claim it's not your style. Why do you hide behind that mask? I'm trying to do my part. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me. But now I know your heart is shackled to a memory. You won't admit that we're the same, and it's tearing me apart! Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
That was something else.
Our next guest, political strategist Dean Snyder, has been following tonight's events since the start, more than 8 hours ago. Dr. Snyder, let's start with you. What's your view?
Well, Jack, it's a travesty. The ultimate failing of the justice system. A vigilante cleaning up our streets after countless deaths and bombings? What has happened to our police force? What about James Gordon? He didn't exactly prove himself tonight.
Hold on a minute, Dean. Now, I'm no defender of the GCPD or Captain Gordon for that matter. Like you said, tonight's debacle is some reflection of his efficacy, but I can't see any police force in any municipality doing a substantially better job against criminals like this Joker character or any of the hired killers he's brought into town. I mean, these guys are a different breed. We've never seen anything like this. So for me, it's less a reflection on Gotham's cops and more of a reflection on the state of our country. A country where our mental health and education systems are so warped and broken that we produce criminals of this nature.
You raise an interesting point, Hank, but what I'm wondering is what we'll do next.
No, it's not an interesting point. It's just plain wrong. They're both wrong. This isn't about the police or the Batman. It isn't about the state of our nation somehow churning out a dangerous new batch of the criminally deranged. It's about the failing of one single institution. An institution which, in my view, represents the biggest threat to Gotham and its citizens. A time bomb, just waiting to go off. If tonight's events have taught us anything, it's that Blackgate is not the place to be housing our city's most dangerous offenders. Not one, but 2 prison breaks in the same night. All of tonight's tragedies would have been avoided if Gotham had a proper treatment facility for its top echelon offenders. A place with impenetrable security, where the most dangerous could be isolated, rehabilitated, and treated for their illness. A place like Arkham Asylum. And after what happened tonight, I promise the good people of Gotham that I will work tirelessly. I will lobby the city council, go to the governor if I have to, do everything in my power to get Arkham Asylum reopened, so we can all sleep a little easier.
There you have it. Quincy Sharp placing the blame for tonight's events not on the Batman, not on the Joker, but on Blackgate Prison, and pledging to return Arkham Asylum to full operations. We'll be back with more from Mr. Sharp and our other guests when the Jack Ryder Hour continues after this message.
I guess that's the Arkham origin we've been leading to. The origin of the Joker, of the Asylum, and of what this storyline is set to become. Like I said, we're going to keep going until we finish everything. So this is far from the end of the Arkham Origins series. And far from the end of Arkham on the channel in general, because we got a lot more content waiting for us in the future. Oh, that's nice, the entire dev team. Oh, but yeah, I was saying earlier, I can kind of see why this is the Black Sheep. I will say, the greatest addition this has, something that I think it's woeful it didn't make its way back in the final game in the series that came out after this, these taser gauntlets are, they got such oomph, and we'll never see them again, which is a shame, because I love these things. At least I don't remember ever seeing them again in the series, and they're just so fucking nice to use. Yeah, like, it felt a little small. You can tell this was a game released by, made by another team to tide people over for a bigger release, you know? But using it here as an introduction to the lead-in of what Arkham will be, I think it serves pretty good. Shows us what we can come to expect from the series going forward. I definitely recommend people who play these games start with Arkham Origin and move through the rest of the series in chronological order rather than release order. Will you have a little bit of a funny speed bump when you hit the first game, Arkham Asylum, and it feels a little funny that a little funky that you don't have everything you have in this game? Maybe a little, but it will definitely feel, you know, like a step up. I can see why people consider this one the worst of the 4, and why it wasn't included in the Anniversary Edition trilogy set. Like, not all of it, but a lot of the treatments that people give this, I think, is kind of deserved. But if you really need to scratch the itch for more Arkham, or if you want to step into Arkham for the first time and see what the games are going to be all about, I think this game's good for that. And it's disconnected enough from the rest of the series story that, like, it gives you a taste of what the storylines will be without, like, because stepping in with Arkham Asylum, when we get to it, I'll sort of mention it, it does not reflect what the other 2 games are in any way. Realistically, it is the mechanical black sheep of the 4, Arkham Asylum, but this game is the tonal and world and plot black sheep. Not to say it's a bad story, but it leans a little bit more on storylines we saw in the comics, like the Red Hood origin story of Joker, which if you don't know that going into this, it didn't even do much to explore, which I was really expecting. Like, if I had designed this game, right, I would not have made Joker Black Mask. I would have made this game come in 2 arcs. Arc 1 is about Batman fighting the common thugs of Gotham. Not just Black Mask, but all the other crime families that I'm blanking on the names of. I would have made the first act like a 3, maybe 4 boss story arc where you're fighting them. But then, partway through the story, you go after Red Hood and Ace Chemicals. and you get that origin story of Joker playing out in front of you, and then sort of as the story goes, whenever you take out a big boss, you got a cutscene showing Joker's development, sort of building him up and building him up from an out-of-view perspective, and then leading that in. And you can keep the assassin plotline, still have Blackgate hire the assassin, or Black Mask be the one hiring the assassins, and it's a-okay. You know, you don't need the twist reveal that Black Mask is Joker. Just let Black Mask stand on his own as a criminal, you know? And then what you do is you then have the second act of the game be Joker crops up and starts doing fucking crazy Joker things, and you have to fight the Joker and come to terms with the fact that you created him, you know? I think that would have been a slightly funner way to build the storyline out. Other than that, so far, everything else I've enjoyed and how it's played out. Man, these credits really run on. I don't want to skip them, though. I really hope you guys have been enjoying this. I feel bad skipping credits in games, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've voiced my gameplay issues. One, the Southern Island, which was added in by these devs. The Northern Island is just a rip from the second game of the series, Arkham City, which we'll come to see eventually when we do our playthrough series. But you can feel the difference in geometry. There's a lot more grapple points. Batman navigates better and like is able to. There's a lot more. The Northern Island is more well built for you to navigate it, while the Southern Island had a lot more jank when you're running around on it and felt a little weirder running around at times. I don't know how visible it was to you guys, but you could feel a distinct difference, that it wasn't the same dev team making the Southern Island, that they were designed by two different teams, and it just made it a little bit harder to navigate. Not enough that it was a problem, but enough that you could notice. And man, this is going to be a complaint I'll come back to time and time again, I know, because it is a consistent problem with the Arkham games. The combat. The combat does not feel very... It feels wonderful. I love the Arkham combat series, and I have no issue with the fact that this game initiated an entire new style of video game combat that other games have tried to ape on, and most games do way worse. Most other games I've seen try and use this combat system make it suck in comparison to this. This is still like the pinnacle of the Arkham combat style. Like, people call it Arkham combat because this game made it, and it's a cornerstone of this game. It is in a lot of ways an evolution of the 3D open world combat system that you got from like Assassin's Creed, for example, the third-person combat system. It's very similar to what Assassin's Creed Brotherhood did, but just so much more refined and meaty and nice and better flow. But I will say that there are some games that have done it better. Hand of Fate, again, comes to mind. At my playthrough of that, when I get into the combat in that, I never feel out of control. I often feel out of control in this, of both the camera and Batman himself. You know, he'll target enemies I'm not trying to target. Constantly. I'll fire off a special move, and rather than going at the enemy I'm aiming my joystick at, Batman will go in a totally different direction to aim at a enemy that is immune to that special move, wasting my special move, and it's infuriating when that happens, you know? It's so annoying to deal with. But it is still fun to play. The combat is still fun, especially when you're not chasing combos and chasing specific scenarios like I have been on and off. Another thing I'll say is the Predator rooms in this game, very few Predator rooms, none of them that good. I did not enjoy the Predator encounters overall. The later games will have, even the first one, Arkham Asylum, has way better Predator encounters. We'll see them later on. But this game was the weakest Predator encounters. But I will say, I do appreciate they didn't pull their punches on the combat. As irritated as I got in those last few fights, like, God, I was gonna blow a gasket during that fight that I was trying to get the 20-point combo in. But as, like, annoying as some of them got, I appreciate how hard they were and how mean they were to me, you know? I want a game to not pull its punches. I want a game to beat me up so that when I finally make it through, I feel satisfied, you know? And like the other Arkham games, every Arkham game drip feeds you the same handful of enemies over and over again. It's like, here's your basic thugs. Oh, here's your thugs who have a shield. Oh, here's your thugs with a knife, the thugs with a pipe, the thugs with a gun. Boop, boop, boop. Slowly giving them to you. But this game was right off rip, like, here's armor, here's shields, here's knives, here's bats. Go fucking at it. Hey, a little bit further in, here's the ninja enemies that exist. And here's guns. Like, I guess that was partially because it had a shorter runtime than the other games have. And that shorter runtime means that, like, you find all these things in a faster pace than you do in the other games that have a longer runtime. But, like, literally off the rip, they threw a lot of enemies at you. So it feels like if you've played the other games, because this came out after Arkham City, this really does feel like you're stepping straight from City into this with very little, very little change in difficulty. Whereas the other games, if you're going through the whole series back to back, which I've done multiple times in the past in my free time outside of this because I love them, back when I played PS3 a lot, it's like easy, escalating difficulty, hard, nice and hard and difficult, and then you beat that game and you move on to the next one, super easy again, super easy, getting a little harder, you know. So if you play the main trilogy, it does spike zigzag the difficulty a lot, which I get it. It's a new game, they need to make sure that the new players coming in are ready. But I do, like I said, I appreciate that this game just doesn't pull those punches. Sorry, I had to tickle my throat. Man, a lot of people made this game, huh? I wish I could just make the credits go faster. I don't want to skip the credits. I don't like skipping credits in games, especially on my playthroughs, because, like, I want to give credit to all of these wonderful fucking developers. I want you guys to see, you know, these people brought us these wonderful games, and I don't want to, like, rob them of their due respects. You know what I mean? The only time in recent memory that I did skip a cutscene was in the ending of the DLC of Dishonored, which I don't think is actually aired by the time that this is going up on YouTube, but whatever. Words, I can use them. That was because I knew that had the same credits as the base game, which you'd already watched. I'm running out of things to say, so I might actually just, you know, skip now. Yeah, I think I've said everything I've wanted to say, more or less. And I want to get back to the game before this episode ends. So, listen, if you really are interested, I'm sure you can find online the list of all the devs. I'm sure there's a load of great people who worked on this game, and this credits sequence is probably going to go for another super long. Yeah, look at that. We're already going in. We're going to. Oh wait, hang on. Is this the end? I don't think this is the end. It's giving me the testers though. That gives me the vibe they're at the end. Testers are generally one of the last things aside from special thanks, right? Come on, be at the end of the credits. By the way, if you're watching at this point still, I super love and appreciate you, and thank you for watching all of my content. I love doing this for all you guys. I've discovered how much funner it is to play games on stream to the point where I almost don't have fun playing games off stream at times. You know, that's how much I enjoy doing this stuff, you know? Like, it means a lot to me. Especially if after this long, boring chunk, you're someone who's still watching. Even if you're just watching me in the background while you work on school homework or a personal project you're doing. Because, you know, that's the main place I watch most media, is in the background. I'm editing videos and editing in big old finger quotes. Like, I barely edit my videos, as I'm sure you've seen, and it already takes me a couple of hours to throw together all of the thumbnails and video descriptions and upload the videos and yada 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 yada. All this takes a lot more work in the background than I was expecting going into it. Actually, no, I was expecting a lot of work, if we're being real. But that's why I sort of make steps to minimize the amount of work I have, such as like chopping the streams into video lengths beforehand and all of that. And even with all of the steps I take in recording to make it easier for me to edit, it still takes a long time. Yeah, let's press on before we get to New Game Plus unlocked, yay! Yay, now I can wear alternate costumes. Ooh, we got a cutscene. Oh, this.
Figured you'd be by sooner or later.
This is kind of a meaningless cutscene.
Don't sign.
You rot in here, or you work for me?
So that's teasing a spin-off animated movie they did that isn't even canon anymore.
Why don't you turn in?
Wouldn't dream of it, sir. Not until you're back safe and sound.
Well, if you're sure you're up for it, I've got a few loose ends to tie up out here, and I could use your help.
You can count on it. And when you get home, we can finally have that Christmas dinner I've been keeping warm for you for our breakfast.
Oh no, OBS. Is everything okay? OBS just went black. Whew. OBS has been being real funky on me, but it looks like it's stable. Jeez, that's a hell of a time. I thought it was about to crash the stream right then. Let us warp to the Batcave real fast, because now we can wear all the alternate art, we can wear all the alternate outfits.
Don't mind me. That was quite a display on the bridge.
Are the hostages safe?
All accounted for, as far as I can tell. What's wrong, sir? You seem upset.
I told Gordon to stay back, and he went in anyway.
Indeed. It's why you're still alive. He deserves your gratitude, not ire.
What's the latest?
You know everything I do, sir. I assume we won't be unwrapping presents in the morning?
Alright. Let's pick a bat suit to wear now for the rest of this. That's a fun one. I've never been a fan of this one's design. Cool conceptually, not cool, really cool though. That one's kind of nice. I like the Knoll suit. This one is goofy in all the right ways. This one is nice. I like that one a lot. Perfectly goofy. Ooh, Earth 2 Batman is very nice too. Am I Earth 2 Batman now? Yeah. Hang on, let me compare that. I'm happy I can wear these now. Where's the other one I was considering? That one. Graphic novel one. I think I'm gonna keep Earth 2 Batman. Very, very nice look, I think. Do you guys agree? Hang on. Maybe the bat chest, the symbol on the bat chest, or the bat symbol on the chest isn't good enough. I think I will go with this one. Alright, let's...
Some of the assassins have access to rather interesting technology. When this is over, you might want to consider appropriating it. Let some good come of tonight's events.
I mean, I've already been doing it as the night's been going. Alright, let's fast travel now. So, we've got a few more Enigma things down here. What quests are still active? We have Enigma, Bird, one that hasn't been unlocked still, and Black Mask's caches. I wonder what the deal is with the one that hasn't been unlocked. Like, I've gone this far without unlocking one of the storylines? Like, fucking what? There's one of the data handlers. Where do we want to drop first? I think we're gonna drop on Burnley. Or no, he's there. We should start. Oh, the Dixon Docks shootings I never inspected. That's what that is. So you know what? Let's go handle it at that first. That sounds like it's relevant to what we're doing. Well, next time on Batman Arkham Origins, as we enter the post-game, we're gonna go investigate the shooting at Dixon Docks, and then start playing the last bit of cleanup, getting all the Enigma data packets and the drug caches, etc., etc. I really hope I can see all of you there. Ta-ta for now.